Well, this has been long overdue. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's here. I'm finally doing it. It's been like 2 months, but you know what they say, it's better late than never. But today's video is going to be all about Heartstopper Season 2. Oh my god, I am so excited to do this video, but I can't believe this took me this long, and I apologise for that because I was so excited. Obviously, if you have watched my videos where I was on about it constantly, it's just life has got in the way, and most of the time I've been working or, you know, it's one of them. So I'm finally doing it, at least, that, to say the least, and that's what we care about. So it's happening, so I'm very excited to do it and talk about it. The first thing I'll say though is it'll be a long one, so get yourself strapped in. This is your time. This is what I'm saying. I'm giving you time to pause, go get some snacks, go get a drink, go to the toilet if you need to, and get ready, because yes, it's gonna be a long. I probably will timestamp it though, so like, you know, you don't have to watch all of it if you don't want to, but there's your warning. So yes, whew, I actually can't, because with this season, oh my lord, it was so good. 10 times better than the first season. Fight me, but it was. Like, it really was. I loved it so much. And I think the reason for me taking longer to do this was that when I watched it, I obviously had this day where I like didn't have to do anything. I just watched Heartstopper. I think I watched it like twice in that day because I had to. But it was just one of them where after I watched it, I just sort of was like, what? You know, like, I died from everything, and obviously we'll get into it. But it was just like, I just couldn't cope with it. Like, it was just like a holy shit sort of thing. I also want to say that obviously is going to have spoilers in this, so yeah. I mean, I've got a bloody notes, you know, like, unlike last time, I didn't have notes, but there was so much in this season, and so I had to write notes down. But yeah, I wrote I needed to be like spoilers, but please, it's been like 2 months now. But if you're still amongst the people that haven't watched it, please click away and go watch it before you do, because I'm gonna spoil it. But yes, oh my god, I just couldn't cope with it. It was just so cute. 10 times cuter than the first season. Honestly, I haven't actually watched season 1 since season 2 came out because I'm still hooked on it. Like, I did say that I would probably watch it and then watch it again and then go back to season 1 and watch all of it, but I haven't yet because I don't know why. Like, I feel like I can't watch season 1 anymore, but I will eventually. But yeah, honestly, so cute. And honestly, I feel like there was just so much more in that season that I had to talk about. I don't know why, I don't know if it was just me, but like, I just felt like season 2, there was so much going on and I loved it. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, it was a bit like, whoa, because I mean, at times I felt like that, but I didn't care because I just loved it. They had so much content, and of course I had read the comics. Well, I read them after season 1 because that's how I got into it. So I already knew what was coming in this season. And everything worked out so well. They executed everything amazingly. Like, I just couldn't cope with it. So yes. Like I say, I have a massive, honestly, I don't even know how I'm going to get through this because I have pages of notes. I'm not even kidding, because like the video I did for season 1, I am going to talk about each episode because I have to, you know, I just do. So yes, we're gonna get into it, so let's go. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes, and the first thing I've also put, I've obviously said about spoilers in the intro, and then I've also said like the first impressions of when I watched it, because obviously thinking back now to that day, obviously I was fresh. I was so excited. I was so excited, but I was nervous. Like, my heart was like because I was like gonna watch it. I was like, it's happening, it's here. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like this, like, from season 1 to season 2 was so, like, the wait was just took ages, because I'm not even kidding. but they have started filming season 3 already, and I'm like, sorry. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know why, it just feels like season 1 to season 2 took ages, and I have this feeling that, like, because they're already filming season 3, that season 3 is just going to be like, here we are, and I'm going to be like, sorry, because I'm like still not over season 2 yet. So I couldn't cope with that. But yeah, it was just so anticipated. So the day that I watched it for the first time, why is it that the first time you watch things is just so magic? It's just magic because it's like so innocent, pure. You don't know anything that's happening, and your reactions to things are just so like because obviously you don't know what's coming, and you're excited for things, and you're first like. I honestly love that. Sometimes I wish I could watch things over again because of the way you feel. And another thing I said was I have how much older they all look. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that is a serious point. Because, of course, they do. Like, they look so much older. Kit and Joe, I was like, stop. I was like, don't you dare. Because, like, no, I couldn't get over it. Because I was like, oh, in the first season, thinking, you know. And then season 2, and I was like, oh, like, you notice the difference then. Because I was just like, okay, steady on. But no. I just had to point that out because they all did. Like, even, like, the others, you know, like, Tao, you know, Will looked older. They just, you know, Elle, you know, all of them. Every single one of them. And I can't. Like, they're growing up and it's like, wow, I just love, honestly, this show is everything to me. Like, it actually is. Like, I love it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is the new characters. So I did talk about all of the characters in the last one I did. If you want, I can actually link my old video, but the one about season 1. I'll do that because in that I did talk about other things other than the episodes. But then, yeah, I'm just going to talk about the new characters that we have in this season because we have characters new to the show, but also from the book. So the first ones we have are Sahar, we have David, and we have Mr. Farouk. So those 3 are in the book as well, if you didn't know. So they were in the book. And of course, because I'd read the book, I was so excited about all of it. Like, I was like, oh my god, Sahar Queen, and they casted her so well. What's her name? Is it Layla? I apologise if it isn't, because I forget. But, like, honestly, I loved Sahar so much. I really liked Sahar in the book, and she was great in this. Like, I just like having new friends and new dynamics, because, like, honestly, all of their friendships are precious in the show. Like, they all just get on so well, and I love that. Like, it's so cute. Like, they honestly are. So yes, we got Sahar. She was a queen. She joined in so well, meshed well, because obviously when they go to Paris, she was like a part of the Paris squad, as they called it, and I was like, yes. Honestly, Sam. David. Yeah, but you can hear me say that a lot whenever I talk about him. But, like, he is a bit of a dick. So he is obviously Nick's older brother and a bit of an idiot. So we all hate him. If you don't, go away. But, like, yeah. So he was, I'm not gonna lie though, also well casted. Like, they've got a thing about casting them so well on the show, and I love that for them. But yes, he casted great, but I don't like him. So we'll talk about him more, like how much I hate him during the episode. So that's all I can say. And then Mr. Farouk, whoa. He was iconic, and I'll say a lot about how much I love him in each episode it was in. But, like, yeah, honestly, Mr. Farouk was everything, and he was casted brilliantly as well. Because obviously, the way he was in the book, I was always like, that's hilarious. And then, of course, he was perfect. The fact that he was trying to be he clearly wanted to be a written man, and I was just like, wow. Like, the way, I'm sure I was on about how things used to trigger me from, like, school when I was at school, and I was like, stop, because, like, that also triggered me a little bit with the school shit again, with, like, him, like, shoving them in a back room and, like, saying things about, you know, like, no phones and this and that, so I was just like, wow. But yeah, Mr. Farouk was hilarious, and because he was always in mood, but then him and, yeah, oh god, I was like, stop. So love Mr. Farouk as well. And then the other 2 characters that we got were brand new to the show, which are Naomi and Felix, and they were friends with Elle, and I was like, stop, because at first I was a bit like, because obviously we had, like, newness, and I was always a bit scared about newness because I always think, don't change it. And I liked how they did it, you know, like we had some more like trans rep because they were also trans, so they were able to be friends with Elle, and I was like, that is just so cute, and they were everything. I mean, the thing was they were in the show, but they weren't like in your face, like new and like that's it, you have to focus on me now. They were just there, and they were like amazing friends. So I liked that, because I do worry about change. Like when they were like, here's some new characters, I was like, oh, at first, but I was fine in the end. More trans rep, I stan it. Okay, so we are now on to the episodes, because these are like the best parts of the show, because obviously it's difficult to do, so I just structure it as like, let's just talk about each episode, because like that's the best way to do it, I feel like. And obviously this time round I watched it all over again, and then had this with me to write things down that I just needed to say. So I might have things here for me to read, you know, just so that I can have a look. But yes, so episode 1 was called Out, and I was just like, stop. Like, honestly, the way I was feeling when it started. And also, I feel like they teased us that opening bit before it came out, and I was dying. But yes, the first point I've said is the opening parallels, which we loved. So obviously it's like Charlie waking up and he gets a text, and then it's like, you know, because I think, yeah, we didn't have him at home in the first season. It was just him walking into school, right? I think so. I'm trying to remember now, but I think so. I think it was just him like going to, like, he was already walking into school at the beginning, but obviously they just added a little bit extra where he was like getting ready and he was all happy, like the different parallels of, like, you know, from like going to see him to going to see Nick. Stop. Yeah, like it was great. I mean, people were saying like, oh, the parallels would be everything if it was like Nick doing it, you know, if it was Nick walking into the school to see his boyfriend, like that would be adorable too. But I kind of liked that it was Charlie again, and the difference, you know. So I loved that. Oh my god, yeah. I've put the kissing montage, and then in brackets, so much kissing. Yes. That killed me, because of course, oh god, yeah, I'm gonna always refer to the book here, because there's just scenes in it that I need, so, you know, like I just need to happen. And one of the scenes was like the first one where he comes up behind him and like does the hand thing, and then they kiss, about the fact that he's come out to his mum. I needed that so much, so I was so happy that we had it. Obviously, when he did it, like, at the door of the form room, I was like, okay, because I was like, whoa, public. I didn't think we were doing that, because in the book, they were, like, hidden by the lockers. But, of course, then they were like, see ya, and ditched into this room, and then they were doing it. So I was like, okay, yeah. Oh, but I couldn't cope with it. Like, the fact that we had them be cute and kissing from, like, the first episode, because, of course, when it's the first season, like, we're still, like, being cutesy and, like, innocent, and we've not even got together yet or kissed yet, you know. We didn't kiss until, like, the third episode in that. So the fact we were, like, instantly kissing, like, it was, like, a few minutes in, and then we were already making out, and I was like, whoa, get it. But I just, wow, their chemistry is so good. Like, I love their friendship, because it makes it everything for doing that. Like, and he picks him up and span him round and shit. And Charlie is so cute, like, he actually is, because how excited he was, but he was also like, oh my god, were you okay, how did it go? Like, he wasn't just like, yay for me, he was still like, he was still thinking about Nick, and I'm just like, stop. I loved that. But yeah, the montage, like, well, I'm sure I saw that too before I watched the actual thing, where they did like a montage of them just kissing and making out and stuff, and I was like, damn, you're killing me off already, because, like, honestly, the first season I could count how many times they kissed, and this time I don't actually know. I've not even done it yet, because they kissed so many times in this, and I laugh because when I watch interviews of them, they always talk about how much they kiss. He's always like, yeah, the kissing, like, more kissing, like, that's all they say about this season, and I'm like, to be honest, you're not kidding, because, like, they did. But the thing that I think that's what I've put next, but the improvisation, oh my god. So during that montage, you could tell there were scenes that they improvised, because it kills me. The one where he ruffles his hair and he's like, that was uncalled for. Oh my god. That was totally improvised. Like, you just know it was. And then I think the bit of the beanbag, well, they sat on a beanbag in his house, and he was just like, I was sat here, he was like, really? And I was just like, whoa. Honestly, I can't. Like, I could slightly just tell, you know, that it was them and not them acting that. And I love things like that. It was so good. Oh my god. So the next thing I've just got is Tao and Elle, because like, shit, they were so cute in this season. Because yeah, I feel like the last one I did, I only talked about Nick and Charlie, but I have to talk about everyone in this one, because but yeah, Tao and Elle, wow, because of course I knew what was coming, and I was like, hey, because of course they were messing about in the last season, because they liked each other, you could tell, and I was just like, stop. And then obviously I found out what was to come, so I was just like, oh my god, like every time they had a thing together. The only thing that shook me, okay, that I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but was the fact that they bought the apple juice from a shop, not from school. Is anyone else thinking the same? Because when he comes back with I bought her juice again, like, you know, he buys the juice, I thought it was from the like canteen or something, you know, like the lunchroom or whatever you call it, the cafeteria, yeah. But like, I genuinely did. I thought he bought it from school, but then they all went to that corner shop, and then it was there, and they were like fighting over it, and well, that was so cute because they were being so silly with each other. And I was just like, wait, what? I know it's such a weird thing to point out, but I genuinely was like, that they bought it from there. Anyways, whatever. But yeah, honestly, they were so cute. Like, they actually were. And obviously, the first episode didn't really have much, but there was a bit, because obviously there was like the bit where she was like twirling his hair, because I think Tara and Darcy were like, just flirt with him and stuff, because of course we could tell, because like Tao was being weird because the fact he liked her, because he didn't actually admit it yet, because we already knew that she was like, oh yeah, I have a crush on Tao, but he hadn't like actually said it with his mouth that he liked her. We just knew he did, because we could just tell. But honestly, wow, like, they were so cute. And obviously then she was like twiddling his hair, and I couldn't get over it, because everyone that saw like leaked stuff was like, I thought he was doing a haircut, and I was a bit the same. But of course, for the first few episodes, he still had his hair like that, and I was just like, So, but then, oh, that was great. So yeah, I liked it. They were so cute. What's the next one? Imogen. Yeah, Imogen is the cutest, in fact. Oh yeah, her and Nick's friendship is adorable. In fact, it is. I actually love Imogen in this season. She was so cute, and she like also blended in quite well, because of like, oh my god, her and Sahar. Whoa, I can't get over it. But like, also, I didn't even realise that they like were friends before, because they said something like they were friends, but then Imogen like blew her off or something, and I was like, whoa, I didn't even realise that. But no, Imogen and Nick's friendship was so cute, because obviously he goes to school and she's like, hey, and I'm just like, wow. And I've literally put here, but her showing Nick her new dog, wow, that almost made me cry, because I was like, shit, that is so cute, because I forgot that her dog died and we were all sad about it, and so then she's like, I got a new dog, and I was like, whoa, because like, I couldn't cope with it. I was like, that is so cute. And of course, she's so funny. She was like, anything you need to tell me? And he was just like, not really. The fact that she knew made me pissed, because I could tell. I was like, please, she knows, because of that bit in the end of the season 1, she was watching him like and like smiling, so I was like, please, like, don't act like you don't know, because you do know. And the fact she did, because she was like waiting for it, and I loved that. I really did. Did I say that? Yeah, I've said she knows that about Nick and Charlie, but she lets him talk, like, let him tell her. And I put respect, fact, like actual respect, because I love that, you know, like, I could just tell that she knew, but of course she wasn't being an idiot, and she wasn't just blowing it out, you know, she was like waiting for it, and I like that is pure respect, and so that's why we love her so much. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm like, because I've literally wrote it. Ben, because, yeah, literally. Honestly, every time he showed his face on the screen, I rolled. And I feel like I'm going to say that because I probably wrote it. But yeah, what have I said? The way Nick hates him, me, factor. Because, like, because of course, he was there. Was he there when she was like, before she run up to him? Because he was like, ugh. And then, yeah, I think so. But I think what I'm referring to is, like, the studying shit. So obviously he had to do his exams because he was like doing GCSEs, and then he had to, that was a bit strange though, the fact that they had to go into that room just to study and they had to be silent. I was like, what? Because I didn't do that when I did my GCSEs. Like, I had to do that for my actual exam, but for like studying and revising, we just did it in class, you know. So I was like, what? But I was like, typical, I've got to sit next to that dick. Nick was just like, ugh, you've got to be kidding me. I was just like, me though. I couldn't cope with it. And of course he was such an idiot, and he was always like, oh, why do you hate me so? And I was like, fuck, don't talk to me. I'm sure he said that, like, don't talk to me. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's hilarious. And he was just like, and I was just like, I was just like, everything Nick said, or the way he looked at him, me. Like, honestly, me. I just couldn't cope with it. Oh yes, I thought Charlie rejoins rugby. Now that was something that didn't happen in the book. So him quitting, I was like, oh shit. Like, when I read the book anyway, because I didn't know when I was watching it. But then I was like, oh, because of course there was some shit going on about the rugbiness in the second book, or the third book, sorry. So I was like, oh no, he's not in rugby no more, so like, will we not have that? But then he ends up rejoining, so I was like, okay, I like how you did that. Like, it was kind of weird that he even left, and it made sense that he left. I thought it did make sense because it wasn't for him. Like, he only really joined because he wanted to be with Nick, and then I am with you now, so it doesn't really matter. But no, I liked that they did that because I did wonder about it. And they made it so that they could see each other, because the reason was because he was constantly studying and Charlie was always doing what he was doing, so they just never had a chance to see each other anymore. So he was like, I'll join rugby so that I can see you. And I was like, wow, that is quite cute actually. I couldn't go with it, because you could tell as well that Nick was trying to be like, because he was like, no, I'll go then. And he was like, no, but I won't get touchy feely because people are watching. And I'm like, stop! I actually can't. Like, they are cute. Tara and Darcy are adorable. I've literally said that, but they are. And at the beginning they were, and obviously they gave us angst, which is like, but I'll get into that. But yeah, off the bat they were so cute. I felt like it was literally the scene where they were talking to Elle, but they were just like cuddling, and I'm sure they kissed each other, or like on the cheek or on the head or something. And I was just like, like, actual goals. Like, they are everything. I'm not being funny though, because I feel like there is a comic of them getting together, or like of how they got together. And I always kind of want them to do that in the show. I mean, there was something, but I would love to see it, because obviously we sort of were introduced to them, but then we found out that we're together, and they were already together. So it would be quite nice to have like that sort of thing, to like see them becoming a thing. Like, that would be everything, because honestly they are so cute. I love them. Oh, the changing room scene. Yes, that was really cute. I've literally, so I put it here, the changing room scene, anniversary, the chocolate part, oh my god, and the kiss. Yeah, whoa, I couldn't go with it. No, this scene was very soppy and cute, and I just can't, because I love things like that. Like, I just do. Like, the cheesiness, it was everything. So they were getting dressed and everyone was like leaving, and they were like, and he pulls this chocolate bar out of his bag, and Nick's just like, what's that? And he's just like, well, it's our anniversary. I would like to know what they class as their anniversary. You know, like, is it, honestly, I don't even know which one it could be. Like, is it the first kiss, or is it the, like, kiss when he sort of like went to his house in the rain? Because like, what could have been? Because I feel like it could be, because like they kind of made it a thing then, didn't they? Because he said like, you know, we're gonna be a thing now. But I would like to know what they class, because like, oh, it's 2 months, and I was just like, what? That's so cute. And he was the same, but then he was like, oh shit, I didn't realise we were giving presents. And he was like, it's fine, I was just being silly. And he was like, no, but we could make it a thing. Like, oh, sorry, but did I write it? I did. I was about to say it, and I was like, I wrote it. I'm sure I did. Nick is so boyfriend. Literally, like, I was literally about to say it anyways, but he is. Like, he was so boyfriend in this season, and I loved that. It's like, honestly. I mean, obviously, Charlie's a boyfriend, you know, but like, I just felt like Nick was just so boyfriend. Like, he just gave off boyfriend energy, and I live for it. Like, I really do. Like, I just couldn't cope with it. So it killed me because he was like, no, babes, I don't mind. Like, we could make it a thing. And then obviously, just so soft for each other, I can't. Because then obviously it's like, oh, how did you know it was my favourite? And he's like, babes, I know everything about you. We're together, you know, please. And then, yeah, oh my god, the way that they would kiss though was like, because they would sort of like lean in, and he would like, they would touch foreheads and noses first, and he would just kiss him, and wow, like it was so cute. And obviously then it was like, whoa, and then they were like, whoa. They always got a bit intense, and I was just like, steady on, boys, like, don't attack me like that. Because of course, I'm sure as well that I would say I always wanted to see them like doing that kind of shit in their uniform, and they did a lot of that this time, and I was like, whoa, if you ask you don't get. If you don't ask you don't get even, and I did, so like, hey. But no, the fact that they were like constantly lovey-dovey and kissing like while they were in their uniform, I was blessed. I actually was. Okay, the next point I've got is that Tori is still iconic. Yes, she is. Because, like, sometimes though I want more of her. Because I have read Solitaire as well, and I would love to see that as a, like, the exact same way, but more just her story. Although, I think they have said that Michael Holden will be in season 3, and I'm very excited about that, so maybe we'll have more of that Tori in season 3, because I want it. It's like, she's everything, and she was so protective in the season, and I live for it. But yeah, no, she's still iconic, because of course she appears. She's like, why exactly have you bought the entire Tesco snack aisle? I was like, yeah, me. And he was like, no, I was like, sorry, but me watching season 2. Like, I was like, you need snacks, it's a sleepover. And I was like, hello, I'm watching season 2. Like, of course I have done that. Please. Yeah, the sleepover. Imogen mixes so well. Facts. Yeah, so they did the sleepover, which I feel like they would have done anyway, but then, because that was also very cute, because of course, during that scene, he was on about the fact that he was like, oh, I need to tell Imogen, but I'm still struggling with it. So he was like, right, well, I'll do this to help, because I love that. Like, Charlie is such a good boyfriend, because he understands, so he helps with it, and I love that. And he gives him time, that he doesn't pressure him, he doesn't force him, he just lets him do what he needs to do. And I'm like, stop being so cute. So he was like, right, let's do this to help out, and I'll invite Imogen. And honestly, they were so cute, because like, I couldn't get over the fact that they answer the door and she's there, and they're all like, hey, and it's like, well, help me, it's adorable. But it's the fact that Tara and Darcy and like Elle and stuff, they were all right with her then, but obviously in that scene in season 1 they were like, and I was just like, whoa, stop. But of course, oh my god, when Darcy said that again, I pissed my pants. Like, as she did, who else did? So they let her in, and they're all like, whoa, hey, and that was adorable. They were like, come in, and she was like, oh, okay, and I was just like, oh, like, she needs this friend group, like, she actually does, because she's such a queen, and she's just, oh, I just love her, I really do. I mean, of course, I was a bit about her at the beginning, but I like her now. And then they were like, okay, what's this? And he was like, I'm gonna try and tell her. It's fine, she's an ally. And I was like, stop right now, I'm crying. Actually, I am. Oh god, yeah. Tao and Nick's friendship or relationship. No, I'll say friendship. Got so much better. I mean, there was a scene where he goes out and then he was a bit funny with him, and I was like, stop that, because I hate it. It's like, I want them to be good, and obviously it did. Like, it got better, because I hated the way Tao just hated Nick in season 1. Like, it seriously wound me up, you know, because I was just like, well, shut up, because you don't know him enough, you know, and you always judge, and I'm like, stop that, because you just need to get to know him more. And then obviously we had that cute moment at the end, and so that helped with their friendship in the season, and I was like, thanks, because I just liked it. I wanted them to be like more like friends, and they did, so I was like, yes. The other thing, I didn't do a bullet point, but there was a scene between Tao and Elle outside, and I was like, who? Because of course they added like the Heartstopper moment with them, which was butterflies, and I was like, don't do that, because you know, like when they would have moments and it would be a bit like, oh, like the Heartstopper, you know, like the leaves and the flowers that Nick and Charlie have, like they did that for them as well, and I was like, stop, I'm crying. And then it's butterflies, so that was really cute, because they were like, she was like here and touching his face, and it was like, ooh, and I was like, ooh. Actually, oh god, yeah. Imogen's reaction to Nick coming out was adorable. Yeah, it was. Because of course he was like, and everyone was like, toilet, and she was like, can I go to the toilet? And they were like, yeah. And it's just her. He was like, there it is, but like, wait a minute. Like he just sort of stood there, as in like, she was like, hold on, I need to go. Like I'm kind of desperate. But no, honestly, that was adorable. And of course, she ended up saying it, and she was like, oh shit. And I was just like, I knew it. I actually did. I knew this shit that she knew. And then she was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And then he was like, wait, what? And I actually can't, because she was like, is it about you and Charlie? And he was just like, hold on. And she was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, but it is kind of obvious. And I was just like, yeah, literally, to be honest. Like, please. And then he was like, oh, and God, and that's where it began, because she was like, well, you didn't like me because you're gay. And he was like, I'm bisexual, actually. Honestly, I liked that he said that constantly, but there's people out there that were like, why is he saying that all the time? It's so cringe. And I'm like, hold on. But like, being bisexual is hard, because, you know, like, if you're with somebody, they instantly think you're either like gay or you're straight. You know, like, and it's like, no, like, I can be with a girl and I'm straight, you know, like you would see if I was with, say I was dating Imogen, like, say Nick was dating Imogen, I'm with a girl, oh, you're straight, but it's like, no, I'm bi, you know, like, and so I liked that he did that. I liked that they had him say that constantly, because it's true. Like, you get drowned in the, like, oh, you're straight or you're gay, but you can be bi. I'm not being funny, but I feel like it was red, white, and blue actually. But they said something because he was bi in it, and they were like, the B isn't silent in LGBT, and I was like, facts. I was like, that is true. We need the representation for bis in these shows and films. Love it, because you know, you just get drowned by being seen with either the same or opposite sex that you instantly are labelled as gay or straight, and that's not the case when you're bisexual. So say it loud and proud, Nick. I loved that. I really did. Oh my god, I have to talk about this part. But okay, near the end, when Nick kissed Charlie in front of everyone, oh my god, that is one of my favourite scenes ever, because it was everything. Because obviously Imogen finally knows, it was all happy about it, and so of course the entire time I was at your house we couldn't do any of that, because of course everyone else was here. And they were even, because I did wonder that, I was like, the fact that they were still kind of reserved with the like kissy lovey-doveyness around their friends was kind of interesting, because I thought that they wasn't like, oh, you all know now, let's just make out in front of them. So I don't get it. I thought maybe not exactly making out, but at least just like kiss now and again, or cuddle, you know, things like that. But they didn't really do that, and I was just like, okay. But yeah, oh my god, that was so like, wow. And the fact it was on the doorstep as well, so people like outside could see. I was just like, stop. No, it was everything, because of course we were like, bye, see ya, hugging everyone, and then they had a cuddle, and it was just like, okay, bye. But Nick was just like, I was just like, no, I need to kiss you. I've not kissed you, so I want to kiss you. And so he just went for it. Whoa. But like, it had to, because it was like the first episode, and it was all cutesy, and they did the whole like the music, the typical music, and the leaves or whatever it was. Whatever was it, flowers flying about, and I was just like, stop. Like, it was everything, and the way he was like holding his face, puddle, I had gone. And then I was like, and they were like, wait, what? So they were like, don't interrupt us, we were enjoying that. And then everyone else was just like, okay, I get it. It's like they were all just looking, but they didn't care. They were like, yeah. I loved that. And Darcy again was like, saying something witty, something like, I can't believe people thought you were straight. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, literally. She honestly makes me piss. But no, that was everything. Honestly, that case is one of my favourites because, like, it was so good. Oh, okay. A couple more points for the first episode. We've got the fact that Charlie actually does tell his parents that they're together. Because, like, we did have some more parents stuff, you know, like some shit with his parents, and like she was a bit of an idiot. So I don't really like his mum, to be honest. But you know, whatever. He was like, yeah, by the way. And they were like, oh, that makes sense, because you been so excited about Paris, and now that, because you're going with him, aren't you? And the hanky-panky, no hanky-panky, that was in the book, and I was laughing. But obviously, that was, I think that is at the beginning of the book, where he told them, because I think it was like, oh, sign the permission slip and things like that, and then no hanky-panky in this house. I was like, ha-ha, I was like, stop saying hanky-panky, Tori me. But no, that was at the beginning. So when I didn't see it, I was like, oh. But then they put it at the end, and I was like, okay, I see you. I like that. So they still included it, and they then found out, you know, oh, I didn't expect him to be gay. And he's like, he's bi, actually. Like, even he was saying it, I'll stand it. But yes, and he's like, and that doesn't even matter, you know? Like, I just thought I'd tell you. And I'm glad he did tell them, because, like, you know, it's good that he did. But, yeah. There was that. And then the last one I got was that obviously because he did that, Tori was then being protective, and she was so cute, and it was like, because then she goes into his room and she's like, oh, you're telling people then? And they're like, he's like, yeah, and it's kind of sad because it's like the calm before the storm, to be honest, because it was all, like, they always make the first episode very, like, happy and nice and light, and, you know, we're, like, getting into the season, and she was just a bit like, you know, she was just like, well, be careful, and I was just like, stop, you're so cute, like, such a sister, and you could see in her face, like, her eyes were kind of welling up, she almost, like, felt sad for him. And then the spiel that he was saying, and I was just like, stop, like, I just can't, like, I love their sibling goals, they actually are so cute. Okay, so we're now on to episode 2, which is called Family, and this is where things got interesting. What do we got? So it says parents' evening, bad grades, yes. So Charlie got some bad grades, banned from singing. Oh no! Yeah, that was annoying because obviously he wasn't paying attention at school, and that made me laugh because he was not even looking. He was like, where's my boyfriend? And then he was like, you're not paying attention, are you? I was like, ha, yeah. But of course, the parents were like, they were like, oh my god, you're doing shit. And he was like, sorry. And of course, because now you know I have a boyfriend, they were like, nope, you can't see him no more. And they were like, what? He was like, are you kidding? So, yeah, that was a bit annoying, but still. He was like, oh, yeah. Oh shit. Dickhead David, yeah. Ugh. That is literally what, poor Dickhead David, ugh. Yeah. Because of course, he comes back and then he's there and he's like, oh shit, why are you here? I don't like you. And he was like, hey, how's it going? You got a girlfriend yet? So he was like, why did they do that? Like, why did they do that? When, like, of course, when I'm not with a girlfriend, or when I've got a boyfriend, or when I'm like gay or something, or bi, why do you instantly just say that? It's like fuck off, you know, it's like, sorry, but it, you know, it's just like, no, and shut up, because I don't care about that and care about you. Oh god, no, I can't, because she was all like, we're happy to have you back, and I was just like, I was just like, are we? And to be honest, not really. You could tell he was like, I don't want you. And then he goes away, and he's like, don't you dare tell him. And she's like, no. Oh, Olivia Colman, the queen, I love her. I actually do. Did I write that? Yeah, I did. Of course I did. And literally that was the next thing, Olivia Colman, the queen. I genuinely put that. Because she, honestly, I love her. As his mum, she's everything, and she's so good. And of course she respects Nick as well, and I love that. So she was like, no, don't worry, I won't. And it's like, help, love them. Ugh. Yet again, ugh. And I literally put Ben, and then I roll, like I say, like, ugh. And then such a dick. I'm trying to remember though now, like, what the scene was. That he was like, because I mean, it's irrelevant because he's on the screen. But like, I can't remember again. It was probably like him just it was probably studying again, and he was like talking shit, and Nick was just like, fuck off, you know, like, so yeah. Oh, and then I've just put Saha, yeah, queen, because that's her introduction. I think they were on about prom. She was like, oh, I've got to do prom, will you help me? And they were like, of course we will. And they were like, yay, prom, you know, that kind of thing. But I just liked her introduction because she was everything. What else? Oh god, yeah, the pen excuse to go and see Nick. Oh yeah, the fact that he was like, I have your pen. I couldn't get over it though that he was allowed in there. Like, he was like, here you are, like, go see him. And I was like, wait, what? Because it was very weird the way they did it. I almost felt like an exam, but it wasn't. It was just studying. But then he was like, I have your pen. I just wanted to come and say hi. And I was just like, stop. Like, they actually can't, like, spend a second away from each other. Them saying hi is still triggering. Yes, in fact it was. Because, like, that was, like, their signature. Hi, dead. Literally. What else? Oh, yeah. So, he does that, and then goes, and then he sits back down. And then Ben's off again. And Nick calling him out was hilarious and everything. I was like, yeah, me. Because obviously he was like, it's like, you don't like, you hate me so much. He's like, I hate you because you literally assaulted him. And I'm like, yes, tell him straight, boy. Because like honestly, I was like, yeah, me. Because like, the way he acted in this season, I was like, I actually hate you. Like, I used to hate him in the other one, but I feel like I hated Harry more. But like, no, this season, it was more like David took Harry's spot, and Ben was just all round so annoying. I hated him, and he just called him out, and it was everything. Because then he was also protecting Imogen. Oh shit, yeah. She told Nick that her crush was Ben, and I was like, what? I knew it though. Like, when she said she had a crush, I was like, don't be Ben. And I was like, don't be Ben. And then he was like, come on, tell me. And then she was like, it's Ben. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I knew it, but like, ew. And his face, me. He was like, what? I was like, same, like, honestly. So then he was trying to protect her from him. He was like, you are an idiot. You're going to do the same with Imogen, and I don't want you to, because Imogen's a sweetheart. So I love that with Nick, the fact that he hated him because of that. It was everything. Aha! I've literally put, I'm eye rolling so much. David is a dick. Yes. Yeah, again, why? I'm just like, why have I wrote that now? And I'm trying to remember the actual scene that I'm talking about. I think this scene is the scene where he's studying, and of course Nick and Charlie can't see each other. Like, we've texted each other, and I'm like, I can't see you, and he's like, oh. So then they're just studying at home alone, and he just walks in his room. He's like, get out, and I'm like, yeah, same. And it's like, ugh, go away. And then Charlie's texting him. He's like, oh, Charlie. And I was like, give me back my phone. You know, he's such a dick. Like, honestly, he is. Like, I'm like, yeah, me. Like, I hate him. And he was like, oh, you're getting in there. And it's like, yeah, I need to approve a girlfriend. And he's like, ugh. I'm like, no, you don't. Shut up. Like, and plus I have it already together. And it's a boy anyway. So, like, no, go away. The park scene. Yeah, literally. Oh my god, yeah. I literally put, their hugs are everything. And Nick giving Charlie his hoodie. I honestly want to know how many hoodies of Nick's Charlie ended up having at his house, because honestly I feel like he was wearing a different hoodie every other scene, and I was like, shit. So but it was so cute. Like, I love that in their relationship, that he's the kind of boyfriend that gives him his hoodies. I feel like he likes that. It's really cute. God, yeah. And then I've also put kissing in public, because obviously they did. That was so cute as well. Like, I just couldn't cope with it, because obviously he was like, ugh, exams, and I hate it, and not being able to see you. And he took Nelly, and he was playing fetch. But then he was like, I can help you if you want. And then he was like, no, just kidding. And then he started kissing him, and I couldn't go with it, because that was like, because of the way they sort of like wrapped around each other. And then Charlie was just like, whoa, because I'm sure that where they went and they actually did that is where that they lay in the park in season 1, and they tried to kiss, but then he was like, oh, and I was just like, stop that. Again, the parallels. But obviously this time he was like all over it. So Charlie's face, he was just like, study on, what was that? But then he grabs him again and pulls him out. I was like, whoa, boys, study on. Honestly, I couldn't cope with it. They were like, so like it was just, they were just into their relationship now. Like, we're sort of comfortable with each other now, and we're just used to this, and so they were just so soft and all over each other like all the time, and it was just so cute. Oh yes, Elle and her art school open evening, that was everything, because God, yeah, she was great. Her art was so good, and like her going there, I don't think that was in the book. No, I think that was new, but I liked it. And of course, that's how she met Naomi and Felix, and honestly, they're iconic. And obviously, Naomi is played by Belle, and I'm sure she's on TikTok. Like, I remember seeing her, so I was like, queen. So yeah, I liked that, and Felix was everything. I just liked that. I just liked that we had more for Elle and her like trans rep. It was just great. And obviously the open evening, she got to see art and stuff, and she was like, oh yeah, I love it here, like the representation here in queer. I was like, wow, that's everything. Actually is. So yeah, that was great. Oh my god, yeah, I thought Tau's mum remains an icon. Yeah, fact. She was everything, because she was always like on about Elle, and obviously she just knew, she could tell that Tau had feelings for her, like, please, like, obviously. And she was just like, because I think when they like eating food, and he was like looking at his phone and like seeing her there with them, and he was just like, and she just knew, because he wanted her to be happy and go there and like do her dreams, but of course he liked her and he wants to be with her, and so he was just like, but she was everything. And like, she was, what was she talking? Was it Chinese, or is it like, I don't know what it was, because I don't know what they are, to be honest, so I'm sorry. But she was like talking their language, and I was just like, where has she gone? Like, it was so sweet. Like, honestly, I love his mum so much, like, to bits. Like, it's adorable. She's adorable. Oh yeah, and then Charlie sneaks out to cheer Nick up, because obviously I think he has an exam or something, and the whole time he was just like, I'm sure it was like maths, and I was like, me, because then it was like squiggles, and he was just like there like, I was like, yeah, me in maths, because I could not do it. So then he goes to see him, but he was like, wow, you're gonna get so in trouble. Yeah, because he had angst with his parents, because then she was like, you're not going, or like, you're grounded from seeing Nick. But he was just like, I don't give a shit, and he went to his house. I was like, whoa, steady on. But yeah, he goes, and the way he cuddles him, I was like, what the fuck? They were so cute. Oh yes, so we had that, and then obviously we have Tao and Elle talk again. I'm not being funny, but I couldn't cope with that outfit she was wearing, but I did like it, because obviously it was called Family. They showed more, because then we got like Elle's room as well. Like, we got Elle's room and Elle's mom. So I was like, oh, stop. Like, I love that when we have like new sets and new areas. So then they were at her house and her room. I liked that. But that outfit, I was like, study on. She was like, I'm going out in this. And then she sat with Howard here. And I was like, whoa, girl. Because he would probably be like, huh. Like, whoa, what are you wearing? Like, you look great. What the heck? But it was cute, because of course he doesn't like change, so he was struggling with the fact that she was like trying to do that and have new friends, and wanted to talk and see her and be like, let's meet up. I think because obviously they told her to like flirt and it didn't go very well, so then she was like, I need to stop and I need to like separate ourselves, but he was still trying to spend time, so she was just like, not really, like, I think I'm busy, I need to do some other stuff. And it was like, but like, I get it, but I can't. Like, it was really cute. I liked that they had that chat. It was needed. Oh yeah. Them acting like a married couple, Nick and Charlie, were like, genuinely, they were so domestic, because they were like cuddling on his bed, and they just felt like an old married couple. Like, they genuinely did, because he was like falling asleep, and he was like, you're falling asleep, and like, honestly, the whole like dialogue was just genuine. Like, it didn't feel like they were acting, it just felt like they were just talking. I don't know, sometimes we have scenes like that, I'm like, whoa, stop, because it just doesn't feel like, I just love scenes where it's just natural and just normal stuff, you know, like, oh, you're going to see it, and then he was like, and then it's like, do you want food? Not really. And I was like, oh dear, don't go there. But it's like, do you want some food? Not really. I'll have Tito. And he was like, you're such an old man. And I was like, what the fuck hell? But I'm like, stop that. Sorry. But it was like, I was just like, stop. Like, honestly, them being domestic, oh, I'll have a cup of tea. Like, I was like, oh my god. And then, of course, he was like, you're such an old man. And then he ditched and went to make it. And I was just like, stop. Like, honestly, I couldn't move there. And the cuddling, like, they were so cute. Like, they actually were. Yeah, literally, I literally wrote, ugh, David. because of course that's next, and he bursts in. And I've literally wrote that when Nelly growled, like, that was me, like, the fact she did, I was laughing so much, because of course she was in there, and like Charlie was like petting her, and then he walks in and he's just like, "Urgh," and I'm like, ha, me, because that's how I feel whenever you walk in. I can't believe it. But yeah, obviously then he runs back up the stairs and he's like, get out, so why are you in here? And I was just like, ugh. I've seen so many people react to that as well, where they're like, ugh. But of course, and it was like, oh, I just wanted to see it. I was like, shut up right now. Like, his face when he said that, he was like, what? And Charlie was like, oh shit, it's going down. And then he was like, I should have knew you were gay, to be honest. And he was like, I'm bi actually, and so what? King, like, literally, like, yes, say it again and make him hear you, because it's a fact, you know, like, he needs to know it. But of course he was a dick, and he was just like, ooh, homophobic prick. Yeah, literally, because he was like, ooh, and mimicked him, and then he was like, if you're gay, at least say you're gay. And he was like, shut up, because I'm not. And then of course it got a bit, and they started shouting and screaming, and Charlie was just like, oh dear, I should have come. I was like, no, it's fine, he's just a dick, like. So, but then yeah, I just loved Nick, because he was like, why did you keep going in my room? And he was like, you're such a dick, you're such a homophobic prick. And I was like, the swearing they were allowed to do in this season, I was like, whoa, yeah. I have Olivia Colman Queen, she came back and she was like, what the hell is this? And of course he was like, rah, 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 and she was like, get in the kitchen now. And I was like, yes, Queen, you tell him straight, you tell him how it is, because like, don't write that. Yeah, the Queen puts him in his place, yeah. Oh, Charlie, yeah, Charlie was so cute, because of course he then goes with him and he's like, oh shit, and then he was like, I'm gonna go, or like, should I go? And then he does, and then he's like, it's okay, and I was just like, ah! His little face, I was like, stop that now. Honestly, they're acting this season, oh dear me, I was deceased, and I was crying so much. But yeah, his little face, he was like, it's fine, bye, and then yeah. And I was like, because of course Nick was just like, oh, he's such a dick, but we knew this would happen. Like, he kind of warned him, and we kind of knew, he knew it would go that way. And so it was just like, oh, well, at least it's done now, but like, oh, you know, it's like, so it was like, I kind of wanted to hug him, I really did, I felt sad. Oh, yes. So next one is that Charlie has angst with his parents. Yeah, I kept saying that, but he did, because obviously they then catch him, because he's like, broke the rules, because he was grounded, but he still went to Nick's, and she was like, where have you been? And he was just like, yeah, I was at Nick's. The fact he was quite sassy, and he was like, I don't really give a shit, to be honest. I was like, whoa, okay. But like, it was showing the eating disorder, and I was like, oh dear, like, I couldn't cope with that. I can't believe that they do topics like that. And I mean, I like it, but it's just also like, how dare you? Because obviously, you know, what have I said? Oh yeah, his mum is annoying, still love his dad. Yeah, his dad is still everything, like, he's still really cute. But his mum was just like, you're not going on the Paris trip, and rah rah rah, and he was just like, ugh, and then stormed off. And he was just like, want some food? And he was like, no, I ate Nick's. And I was just like, the irony, because we know he didn't. And I was just like, stop, I don't want that. I really don't. Like, I hate it. It's annoying me. Yeah, the ED starts coming out. Oh my god, yeah. But then he goes upstairs, and then Nick sends him a voice message, and that was so cute. Like, it actually was, because of course he was on about things like, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't come, it's my fault. And then he was like, no. And the fact that he decided to send him a voice note instead of texting him was so cute. And he was like, no babes, like, don't you dare say that. I love that Nick is constantly telling him, like, don't you apologise, never say sorry, and like, no, it wasn't your fault, because we know that Charlie constantly always feels like an inconvenience, or like he thinks it's always him. And it's not like a selfish thing, because obviously we do know he's got an eating disorder, so it's like a mental illness. So I do think that, I don't think it's that, like, it's like a selfish thing. It's more of the way that I think it's his trauma from the bullying. We know that, like, the way he's been made to feel. So he just thinks he is like that. So I just love that he constantly reassures him, and he's like, no, absolutely not, load of shit. It's like, that's not real. Don't even think about it. And so the fact, I just can't. Like, it's the fact that he decides to like send him that so that it can like hear his voice saying it rather than just read it, you know? Because he was like, no babes, like, it was gonna happen. And coming out to people always goes differently, you know, and I knew it would happen with that dick because he's so homophobic. But of course, coming out to my mum was amazing, and so I loved that. It was so sweet, and he really needed it. It's like to hear that, because his little face when he was sat in bed, he was like, and I was like, don't do that, son, because I can't. I'm crying, so I can't. I actually love it. Oh shit, yeah. The next one, or this is the last point for this one, but Tao's talk with his mum was adorable. Like, oh, I just love it, because obviously this was called family, that it showed you more of their dynamics with their family and shit, you know, like him and his mum and stuff like that. And obviously we had, you know, I liked that they did that, I really did. So it was cute that Tao, like, his mum came in, and honestly she is so cute. Like, she's iconic, but she's also so cute as well. Like the things she was talking about with him, like her and his dad, and I was like, stop, because of course I didn't even know he died, and I was like, shit, that's sad. And he was like, but then, oh, I just can't, like the way that she said things, you know, like how she said that she was kind of like the outgoing one and he was the shy one, so then they got together and then it was like perfect harmony. I was like, woo! So then she was like, I feel so imbalanced, like when we lost him, and I was like, stop now, like that made me emotional. And of course Tao was just like, and I was just like, and she was just like, you know, I think she did it because she just knew. And so she basically was such a queen and went and talked to him about that to like make him realise, because obviously that made him realise his feelings for Elle. And I was like, yes, king! Because it wasn't in that one. Oh yeah, she knows, such a queen. Helps him realise his feelings for Elle. Literally. So of course at the end of that one he then ran to the boys at the shop again and was like, I like Elle, and they were like, well, no shit, but also yay, like you realise, like, well, hey. So that was so cute, like the fact that he did that, and I was just like, oh my god, I love it. Alright, so we're now on to episode 3, which was called Promise, and as usual this one was also very cute. So what do we got? Oh yeah, so it started with Tao and Isaac and Charlie planning his date with Elle, because he's genuine. I was like, wow, what? Because he was like, I like her, and it was like, well, obviously, but then it was like, I'm going to tell her, so I'm going to plan a date, and I was like, stop, that's so cute. So he did that, and the boys were so cute, because he was like, well, what do I do? And Isaac was so funny, because he was like, go to a bookshop and pick a book and read it, and I was like, that's actually adorable, I would do that. But they were like, no, that's your thing. And then he was like, what about you, Charlie? And he was like, I don't know, I haven't even seen my boyfriend in ages, because I can't, because we have to keep doing our work. And I was like, stop. I was like, bloody hell. But yeah, I just couldn't, because he was like thinking, what have I said? I can't bloody read it because I wrote it in yellow, like, why did I do that? But yeah. Oh, Isaac was precious. Yeah. And then what else? Oh shit. So yeah, that was that. So then the next thing I have is Christian, Otis, Sai, the 3 rugby kings that we love. Oh god, yeah, because they were in the season 1, but sort of in the background. Like, so if you were to rewatch it, the bit where he's fighting Harry at the cinema, they're at the back, and you can tell, like, they are not the same as his other mates, Harry's other mates. They're like a bit like, because of course they then didn't like Harry in this season, and I was like, we stand. So they are trying to sort of be friendly with him, but he's a bit like, because he's still a bit like, no, because you're friends with him, you know, like, you're still friends with him, and I hate him. So, but they were cute, because I almost feel like they totally knew as well. Like, come on, like, we know they did. And they were just a bit like, so hey, like, how's it going? And he was just like, not really, but I was just like, stop, because I liked it, and I liked that we had more of them, because I knew it was coming, you know, because obviously you could tell in the season 1 that they were a bit like, so I just, we needed that, so I liked it. Yeah, so of course, during that also links to that, because obviously they were like, come on, Nick, we're thinking, oh yeah, because he was like, hey, and then we played rugby, but he was being a bit weird, and he wasn't like passing the ball to any of them, and they were like, what are you doing? And he was just like, and they were like, come on, man. And I was just like, Charlie was a bit like, oh shit, babes. But of course then they went to speak to him again, and they were like, it's fine, like, we know you. When Chrissy was like, we know you two are really good mates, and then they I was waiting for that because that was in the book, and obviously like he was just like and it's just like montage of them making out and shit, and I was like, yeah, really good mates, like obviously. And also I laughed because like then he walks off, and then I'm sure is it Otis turned to him and was like, why did you just say that? Because we know they're not. I couldn't give it as you it. But yeah, this bit, oh my god, like this was in the book. This is what I mean by the fact that I didn't know if we would get this with the fact that he left rugby, but then obviously he rejoined rugby, so I was like, oh, okay. But this scene, the rugby store cupboard scene is what I've called it, but it was more like a crate outside or container or something. So obviously they were putting things away and they were in there and they were just being cutesy yet again because he was on about like, oh, couldn't do it. So he was like, it's fine, babes, it's fine. And then I think they were on about the fact that they decided to be like, no kissing at school, and he was like, please what? Oh my god. So of course it led to kissing again, and I was just like, whoa, help. And that was everything. But it's the fact that Missing the Queen walked in on them. And I was wetting myself so much. Because obviously, yes, it was from the book and I wanted that scene. Like, I did. I get scared when I know about things and I want them, that if they aren't in there, I'm like, But it was. So I was happy about it. And it was hilarious. Because she was like, boys, I mean, she wouldn't give a shit because she's iconic, but I was like, please, it was bound to happen because we were kissing so many times at school that somebody was going to catch us, but at least it was her, you know, because we like her. And they were just like I was dead. Actually was like, what have I said? Because I've probably said that. Yeah, literally, I've got laughing my arse off. Yeah, so then, yeah, they were like, and of course that was at the beginning of the episode because then it started, and then they actually included the bit where she asks him to the office, and he's just a bit like, no shit. But she was at everything because she talks about it, and she was supporting him basically because she was like, I could tell that you are being a bit funny at the moment, you know, you're meant to be captain and you're being a bit standoffish or whatever, like you're not playing as a team. And then she was like, I think this is why, isn't it? And I was just like, stop. And then because she was like, if any of the boys say something out of line, you come to me. And he was just like, wait, what? He was just like, okay, thanks. And I was just like, literally a queen. Let's see, what have I written? How have I worded it here? Oh yeah, she's a queen. Supports Nick being bi. Yes. Talks about her wife. Yeah, that was so cute. And honestly, how accurate the picture was that they had. Like, she had a photo of her and her wife, and how accurate that was to the one in the comic. I loved the details like that. I honestly did. And she was like, yeah, my wife. And he was like, wait, what? And I was just like, stop. The amount of gay in this show it's everything. Like, it actually is. So I was just like, yeah, this shit. At one point, someone's gonna have to be like, no, I'm straight, you know, and they're gonna be like, wait, what? Because we just all assume that you're gonna be LGBTQ plus somehow because please, when we watch this show. But like, no, I loved Missing being supportive. That was everything. And he was kind of shook about it, but yeah, it was everything. Whoa, Isaac and James, oh my god, that was like, whoa. Yeah, that was everything. I liked that because of course Isaac had some more story to him, which was everything, because I love Isaac, he's precious. And so they added some story to him, which I think I knew was where it was leading, but I kind of liked that they added that him and James had a thing, or like there was something going on between them before that, or it was going to be his like realization, which I really liked. You know, I really liked that because of please, we knew James was gay, and the fact that they made like him sort of like Isaac, I was like, stop! I didn't see that coming, but I like it. You know, I was like, that's really cute. So when they had like scenes together, it was adorable. I think they worked in the library together, didn't they? And they were like talking, and I was like, wow, they're adorable. Exams are finished, yes. Oh my god, yeah, the Nick and Charlie hug was like, wow. And I'm sure I had seen that hug before, like, you know, when you see things like being filmed. Did they do like a little like sneak peeky thing? I think it was when they announced the date that it was coming out, they showed us like a thing, and in that they were showing like a behind the scenes of them doing that hug, and I couldn't wait for it. I was like, oh my god. And it was like, oh, I've finished my exams, and he was like, I'm not grounded anymore. So they were like cuddling about it, and I was like, honestly, their hugs are like so much more intimate than them actually kissing. Like the way that they squeeze each other and they like literally want to like be like in each other almost is just so cute. Yes, the Tara and Darcy angst begins. That was fun. But yeah, I was like, no, because that was in the trailer where we had angst. Because Tara said, I love you. And she was a bit like, what? And then I was like, oh shit. It's like, we're going to have that, are we? I mean, I kind of liked that they did that. Because they did seem very perfect. And of course, we didn't have drama with them, like, starting a relationship. So, obviously, I liked that we had them have some... I mean, but you know, we needed it because I knew, and when it's in this show, I'm like, no, it's fine. We'll do it for a little bit, and then we're fine anyway. So I was like, oh, but yeah. So she said, I love you, and I was like, whoa! But it was like sort of like a because I love you or something. Like it's because I love. And then she was like, oh shit, I just said that, and she was like, bye, and I was just like, oh no, like don't do that because like I didn't know that from the trailer, so I was like, oh shit, I'm not ready for Tara and Darcy angst, but you know. Whatever. Yeah, it makes things awkward. No, yeah. I know. I was like, what the heck? But I liked it because then it added more story to them. You know, it gave Darcy a story, which was really interesting. I liked it a lot. Okay, so the next one I have is the Paris trip meeting. Yeah! Tara and Isaac. Oh my god, yeah. Their friendship was so underrated. I said, put that there. Underrated friendship because it was. Like, they had some cute moments together. I mean, they didn't like have a scene, but they were like sitting there and they were like sitting together. And she's like, "Oh, what book are you reading?" I honestly love it because obviously they still have the whole like Higgs and Truham thing, like splits schools. So then when they meet up, it's like, "Oh hey, like how's it going?" Like, oh, I can't. It was so sweet, but it was cute. And then yeah, the others met Sahar as well, which was really nice because obviously. They were then a group for Paris, so of course Sahar was going too. So then they like met her and they were like hi, and oh, they were all so cute. Of course they were. Like we're never exclusive in this friendship or this show in this group. So yeah, whoa, yes. James invites Isaac to the bonfire party that they did. Now that wasn't in the book, but I still liked it because it was like a new thing and it was interesting. But yeah, he was like drunk to go when they were all like, okay, what's that? And I was like, stop. He was like, yeah, okay. I mean, they were going anyway, so that it was like, sure. And he was like, I'll go with you. And I was just like, stop, because like, I in a way I did feel sorry for James because of course of the fact that it was only meant for him to realise that shit. But it was just like, I felt sorry because he actually liked him, like he did. And of course he asked him there and he was like, yeah, okay. And it was just, yeah, but oh well. But then that was cute and innocent. And we were fine anyway. We were like hanging out and chatting and stuff. And, you know, we were alright. So it was cute. Holy shit. But yeah, Mr. Farouk and Mr. Ajay. Whoa, king. Honestly, I was deceased. Like, the fact they did so much in this season that killed me in terms of like cuteness and coupley and just honestly, I was like, what? Because we had Nick and Charlie that were already like adorable, and then Tao and Elle were like sort of becoming a thing, which was so cute and innocent and everything. And then of course we had like Tara and Darcy being adorable yet again, but obviously angst, but it was fine. And then obviously we had moments of James and Isaac, and I was like, oh my god. And then of course Mr. Farouk, Mr. Ajay. I was like, stop it. Like, I constantly was like one after the other. I was like, I was never dead for like a minute without like dying again, you know, like I was just like, Jesus. But yeah, no, they were so cute because of course they like first had their moment together when they like met up and they were like hi, and they were like hi, and I was, yeah, because he was like and he was just like hi. Oh my god, I feel like I can't because he seems very like sort of stern. Mr. Farouk's always very like uptight and very like very stern, very serious, but then when he's with him he's like soft and it's like whoa. I just love them. They were so cute. Whatever. What am I saying? Oh shit, yeah. They can't share rooms. And I was like, oh wow, like you do that in this show because like it works in their favour. And I was, wow, what a shame. Yeah, literally, I'm sure Darcy said that. She's like, oh no, what a shame. Because obviously we don't really care. We're going to share with our girlfriends and boyfriends. It's like, we're fine. Like, we love that shit. They should have been like, just kidding actually. It is because most of you are gay in this. So like... Oh my god. Oh my god. But like, wow. So the whole time they were there, Tao wasn't even there, and I was like, what? But then, yeah, they leave, and then they're all like, holy shit, his makeover, oh my god, that was hilarious. Like, it actually was. I was wetting my pants because of course they all left and then they were like shit. Elle was like whoa, and everyone else behind was like me because they were all like what the hell, but it was so cute. I was like, what on earth are you wearing? I loved his hairstyle. I was like, wow, thank god we ditched the beanie, we've got it caught, it looks great, but like what the hell are you wearing? I was like, whoa, have you just like come off a red carpet? Will's just finished for the photo shoot and it's just like, this will do, won't it, guys? Like, I can wear this for this makeover. No, it was fine. I mean, not once did she say, like, the hell are you wearing? And I think I would have actually died right there on the spot if she'd actually said that. She was a bit like, whoa, but she never said, like, what the hell are you wearing? Because, like, please, if we were friends like that, I would have totally said that. Actually would have done. So everyone's reaction was so funny, like, it actually was. But it was so cute as well, because he just came out and was like, I like you. And she was like, shit, what? You like me? And when they did that, I can't help but be like, wasn't that obvious? I can't. Like, what if they'd said that? I feel like you and Charlie should have, like, looked at each other, like, because obviously she was like, I like you romantically. She's like, you like me, you know? He should have said, like, it wasn't that obvious. Oh my god, help. But I couldn't. And he would give her the flowers, like, wow, giving her the flowers was so cute. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sure I saw that tease, but not, like, the makeover. I just saw the bit where she got flowers, and I was like, if that is Tao asking her to prom, stop. Because, of course, I knew they were going to do it, but no. It was like, that thing, and I was just like, stop. And it was like, let's go on a date, let's go to the cinema, and I was like, stop. And then she was like, yes, okay, and I was like, whoa, and then they all like flooded, and like, I was like, me, you're like, me. So no, that was everything. I was screaming, I was crying, loved it. Oh my god, yeah. And then I've said that their date, because then he was still in that outfit, and I was just like, right, but then I was just like, okay, but I was like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, it was awkward. And I was like, no, I don't want that. But I think they intended that. And I don't know why. They just wanted it to be a bit strange. But obviously, it is hard to date somebody that you've been friends with. Like, when you're, like, really good friends, and then you decide to go there and date. But it's one of them where I love things like that, but where it's, like, unintentional. Or, like, we just sort of kiss, and then now we're friends. Oh, now we're dating. Like, I feel like that works. Instead of being like, I like you too. Like, let's go on a date then. Because then it made it awkward, you know, that we are going too above and beyond. Because she hated that he was like changing for her, and he was just like, no. Because of course she was like, have you changed your hair? Like, did you do it because of me? And he was like, no. I was just like, oh my god. But no, it was cute because he took her to the movie, but of course he didn't like the movie. So she's like, why did you watch that then if you don't like it? You know, it's like, I was just like, yeah. I was like, oh. But it was intentional, but I was like, why? Yeah, so the next one is the bonfire party, which was, yeah, again, interesting because it was, like, new, so I wasn't really sure what was happening. And bloody Tori was protective yet again because she was like, if you lose him, you will die or something. And I was like, whoa. Okay, then. I was like, a bit like, why are you even going? But alright. But poor Nick, he was like, he didn't feel great, and then he had to tell the guys, because of course he was trying to tell them as well about him and Charlie, and it was just like, but yeah, it was interesting. What have I said? I've put, oh yeah, just protective Tory, and then the next one is improvised cuteness again. I know, because that bit when they were lying on the ground, like wrestling with the phone, I think that was improvised by them, and that was very cute. I loved that. What else do we got? Harry was annoying, yeah, he was. I hated him. I mean, please, we know I hate him, but he was just, ugh. I was just like, go away. Because, of course, he was like, I'm trying to tell you this, and then Harry kept appearing, like, alright, share with everyone, and I was like, no, go away, I'm not telling you, like, you're annoying, I don't like you. And he was like, let's go and drink alcohol and burn some shit, and I was like, it was just, but yeah, the whole bonfire party made me anxious. Yes. It was one of them where I feel like they did it on purpose, but of course, the whole entire thing, like, I would have never liked that because of the way I am. Like, my anxiety would have been like, no, I don't like social things like that at all. So I was just anxious watching it. I was just like, oh, I hate this. Like, I hate this. I was like, I know it's going to go wrong. I feel something bad coming, or like something, he's not going to be able to do it, and things like that, and something's going to go wrong here. So I just felt on edge the whole time. I didn't like it. But I think that's the idea, because of course then he was feeling all overwhelmed and stuff, and it was like, what do we got? Oh shit, yeah. So I've got Charlie comforting Tao was so cute, because obviously they end up going to the party as well, but then she invited Naomi and Felix because she felt a bit awkward, and then they were like, and then he was like, what the fuck? And they like had a bit of a moment. Then she stormed off, and then he was like, oh, and so Charlie was like, no. And the cuddle, like their friend's cuddle was really cute. And then he was just like, bye, I'm leaving. And I was like, oh, what did he say? Like, what was it? Oh, I can't remember where he said that, how he worded it. But he was like, I'm unlovable. And he was like, don't say that, Tao. And I was like, yeah, me. I was like, wow, their friendship is really cute. I feel like that's underrated too, even though we already know that they're friends. Like, I just feel like it's not appreciated enough, because they are like adorable friendship roles. Like, they really are. This part made me piss a lot, but it's when Charlie told Harry to piss off, and I was like, yeah, me. Because obviously he was there, and then he had the like shit going on where he was like imagining everyone saying like all these horrible things, and I was like, no, not the negativity getting in his head. I hate that. And then of course then Charlie just appears, and he was just like, piss off, and I was like, whoa. I was like, that's everything I actually got. And I was like, study up. But because it was a bit, because obviously that, you know, Tori was protective, and she was like, don't be, you know, thingy, like, don't lose him. And then he does, and he's like, oh shit, because then he finds her, and he's like, oh, I lost him. And she's like, sorry, what? But yeah, I just couldn't cope with it. When he told him to piss off, I was like, shit, no, get it. And even Nick at the end was like, whoa, you told him to piss off, I enjoyed that. And I was like, yeah, same, I did as well. I was like, no, come through, King, I loved it. Oh shit, yeah, more Charlie and Olivia Colman. I keep pointing at Olivia Colman, but I think her name's Sarah. I always say that. But like, I liked it because of course Joe kept saying that he wanted more scenes with her in this season, and obviously he did get that. So I was like, yeah. So he obviously, because he was like, oh, I don't feel great. So he took him back to his house, and then they had a talk, and he got a cup of tea and stuff, and then, you know, but I liked it. I was like, yes, goodies. We have more of them. And then, yes, he took the cup of tea to him and was looking after him in bed, and the cuddle, and I was just like, what the heck? They're still iconic, like that. It's all like, what is it? They're domestic, that's the word. And I was just like, oh, like, honestly, everything they do that's cutesy or coupley, not just kissing though, but just like being cute, it's just like, wow, like anything they do is adorable, and I can't. And he was like stroking his head and all that jazz, and there's so many more kisses though, because we had more like cheek kisses and neck kisses and forehead kisses, and it was like, whoa. But obviously they were talking, and then because this one was called Promise, they were kept saying promise and stuff, you know, like she was like, oh, protect him, okay, I promise. And it's like, oh, I promise you I would come out about having, and those kind of things. And then he was just like, it's fine, you know, like, you don't have to, like, you don't owe it to everyone just because now you're with me and you know yourself that you're bisexual, like, you don't need to. So it was so cute. Like, again, Charlie was so cute and understanding, and I was like, what the hell, like, we don't deserve you. But no, like, when they cuddled, and he like lay into him and was like, it was like muffling, like, I was supposed to say it, but I didn't, and he was like, stop being yourself up, like, it wasn't the right time, like, please, we're at a bonfire party. It was so loud and so much going on. It was not the best time to tell him that. So it's fine. And then he was like, you know what? Should we just forget about it and just enjoy Paris? You know, just enjoy it, and then we'll do it when we're ready to do it. And he was a bit like, should we? And then it was like, oh, because I feel like Charlie was a bit like, I don't really want to do that, but we will because it's easier for you. Because it ended up making him stressed, and I was just like, oh, like, I like it though. I like that we had difficult stuff with them, but it didn't involve like cheating or anything to do with our relationship ending, because I was like, if anything like that happens, then I don't want it. But of course I knew it didn't because I'd read the book, but I just like that they can add other things like that affect each other, but they're still strong in their relationship. Like, that is everything. Like, I love that. So I was happy. I really was. Alright, so I have decided that I'm going to do this in parts because it's already so long as it is, and I'm only just going to talk about onto episode 4. So I'm going to talk about episode 4, and then this is going to be the last one for this video, and then I'm going to do a part 2 another time, because otherwise I will have no voice. So yes, we're going to talk about episode 4, and this one was called Challenge, and yes, this one was very good. We were getting going, because of course we are now on our way to Paris, and I was like, yeah, let's go to Paris. And so what have I said? Yeah, to the Paris trip, no kissing for 2 days challenge. And I was like, stop being hilarious, because like, that's not gonna happen. Like that made me laugh, because he was like, I don't think you won't be able to kiss me for 2 days. And he was like, sorry, yes I can. But then he was like, oh shit, no I can't, like, I have to kiss you. And so they're like, we won't sit together on the bus. And he was like, what? And I was like, oh. I mean, yeah. But it was one of them. I don't know if I want to do like quick fire, just run through, because I literally have so many notes right here, but I want to talk about them. But it's just one of them where I feel like I do want to talk about them, like, probably, but it's just that, yeah. So another one I have is, oh god, yeah, Isaac asking Charlie about Nick and sort of discovering his feelings. So I think, so when he did that, he was like, how did you know, sort of thing? Because of course him and James were like having some shit going on. So he was sort of feeling, I think he was starting to feel things for James, but he didn't understand it. So he was like, so how did you feel? And I love that. Like, I do love that. Because he was like, oh, I loved it. Like, I felt like I couldn't breathe, but I wanted to be with him all the time. And then I just always wanted to kiss him. And he was just sort of like, I don't feel like that, you know? And it's like, ooh, I liked that they were showing that. It was more asexual representation. We were adding the asexual, and I liked that a lot. So I liked that. I did. No! Oh my god. So Nick speaking French was hilarious, and of course we knew that was coming because we knew he did, so we were all waiting for Kit to do it, and I thought he did a good job, to be honest. But I felt like people slated it, but I was like, please let him off. Like, he did it, you know, it was fine and it sounded fine. But honestly, everyone's reaction to him speaking French was so funny, because of course the first one was Tao, because he was sat next to him and he was just like, what was that? And I was like, huh? And he was just like, oh yeah, it's my dad, because he's French, and you know, I speak to him in French, and he was just like, okay, yeah. I was just like, huh? Yeah, but like, honestly, I couldn't cope with it. Everyone's reaction was so funny. What else we got? Tao and Elle aren't speaking. No, yeah. Yeah, that was annoying. Like, the fact that after the date it was awkward, and then that was it then. Like, we were not even talking as friends, and I was like, shit, like, I don't want that. Like, I was waiting for them. Like, I was like, stop pissing about being awkward with your innocent flirting. And then of course we acknowledge feelings, but then it doesn't go well, and then now we're like not even talking as friends, and I'm like, fuck's sake. I'm like, why? Like, it's just like, bloody hell, come on, sort it out, because it's driving me nuts. So yes, then they get there and they get in the hotel, but then of course they get in the room and they're like, oh, because they have to share beds. And that's another thing that I questioned before watching it, because of course in the book, Tao did not find out that they were together until they were in Paris. So they chose separate beds. So he slept on one side, but then it was Alid / you know, because obviously Isaac's the new character for the show, slept on that side. So then Nick and Charlie were like, oh, they're like, oh. And I was like, how will that happen if Tao knows? Because of course they had him know earlier in the show. And so I was like, but I didn't even notice that because basically we all walked in and was like, oh, sharing beds. And then they were instantly like, well, I'm having this one. So then it was like, it still didn't seem weird. Like, even though they knew, I felt like it still was fine. And then they were like, oh. And it made me laugh. Because they were like, oh, I wanted to bury you. And it was like, but he was a bit like, oh, I didn't think you'd want to. Because, you know, it feels a bit strange. But it was like, I did actually. Because my boyfriend, we're fine. Oh my god, yeah, again, I've just put Mr. Farouk and Mr. Ajay, help! I know, literally, because I'm sure they were in a room sharing, and they were like getting their luggage out, and they were just like, oh, sorry, they were like trying to go past each other, putting everything away, and it was just like, oh. It was just so like innocent and awkward, and I was just like, oh, help me, like literally, when I said help, because like, yeah, that's how I felt. Oh my god, yeah, the hand holding from the opposite beds was so cute, because obviously, at least they still slept on sides that they could still like see each other and touch each other, you know, so it wasn't too bad. They were like, oh, I'll sleep here then and you can sleep there, and then we'll like, and they held hands, and honestly that was so like accurate from the book as well. Like the way that it looked, how they did it was like the same that they did it in the book, and I was just like, honestly, the details, I actually love it. So yeah, Tao gave Elle some more apple juice, which was, yet again, I was like, what? Because it was the same brand, but in French. And I was like, ha, that's hilarious. But yeah, it was just like, boom, there you go. Honestly though, I couldn't cope with how good he then looked after the look, because obviously then his hair, like, because obviously he did the makeover, but I was still a bit like, whoa. And then obviously when they were going to Paris and they were in Paris, like everything he was wearing, his hair, I was just like, whoa, like thank God, because he looks great now. Because I was like, there's no way that I'm watching them get together with him still looking like that. So, you know, I was just like, no, because like, you know, I just needed him still there, and he did, so I was happy about that. Oh shit, yeah, so Nick and Charlie moments where they are talking about the bed sharing, because obviously they were like, oh, I wanted to share with you, and it's like, yeah, so did I, but we will one day. And because what did he say? I'm sure we'll get to do it one day. And then he was like, I didn't mean that. So, and I was like, at first I didn't even think that, and then I was like, whoa, are we talking about sex? Because I was like, steady on, boys, I didn't think we were having that. But he was like, I didn't mean that. And he was like, no, I knew you didn't mean that. I knew you meant just sleeping together in the bed, you know, like that. But I was just like, it was so cute. Because, I mean, please, we are going to talk about it. So I did like that they did. And they still, like, acknowledged the fact that they were like, well, I would like to say one day, but, like, not yet. So, you know, like, we're still only kind of innocent. And all we're doing is, like, kissing and shit. So it was like, I can't. It was so cute. And of course it was like, oh, kiss me. But like, it's like, just kidding, interruption. But like, that scene, yet again, was iconic from the book. And I could not wait for it to happen. And so obviously Darcy like walking in, Nick and Charlie, oh, you're being gay. Good job. Carry on. One of the best lines ever. Like, yeah, again, Darcy was so funny in this season. Because what did she say? There was totally a bit on the bus to Mr. Farouk. She was like, are we underwater? He was like, yes. Why can't we see any fish? He was just a mood and mortal. He was like, and I was just like, what? Because of course they were on the like channel or whatever it is. So she was like, what? And they were like, it's not made of glass. Like, we can't see it. Oh my god, yeah, again, I thought she's a cow, Isaac and James. I don't know why. Like, I'm trying to think of it. What I said. I think it's when they were going somewhere and James came up to him and he was like, can I hang with you then? And it was just like, yeah, okay. And they would just be like, okay, cool. And I was just like, wow. Like, I couldn't cope with it. Like, them just being like that. It's just like, stop. Like, it was just so cute. So that's probably why I said that. Yeah. I'm like, ugh, Ben is such a dick yet again. And I've just put poor Imogen, because of course she was like, oh my god, we can do a love lock and we can do this and we can do that, because of course she was on about them being together and then they did get together, and so she wanted to do all of it with him, and then he was just like, what, that's lame. And I was like, you're lame, like shut up now and treat her right, because Imogen's so cute, so like don't do that, because honestly. And Nick was watching, he was like, and I was like, me. So I was just like, ugh. So yeah, I did feel bad for her, to be honest. Zahar is a queen. In fact, yeah, I was just put Zahar queen because Tao and Elle wanted to go to that museum, but everyone was like, that's boring, I don't want to do that. So then she was like, well, why don't you two go together then? And I was just like, yeah, literally, like, you do it then. She was almost like doing it as in like, but also just like, well, you two go together then. And then they did. They were like, yeah, right, let's go. And I was like, all right, it worked. Because I'm sure they were all like, whoa, all right, like, I'm sure Darcy, again, was like, mischief maker, yeah, I've influenced you or something. And I was like, aha. Like, whoa, she fits in so well. I said that, but she does. Like, the fact that we're all like linked up, and I love it. Like, it did not feel like here in your face new characters, like, you have to love them. They were just there, and I liked that, and they just had moments where they were iconic, and I was just like, wow, like, it feels like we've never not had you know. I love that. So yeah, she was such a queen. Oh my god, yeah, little details, but Darcy was wearing the hoodie from the book. Loved that. Yeah. Nick then speaks French again, which was hilarious because he was like ordering the ice cream, and they were like, wait, what? So you can speak French? And he was like, yes, my dad's French. He was like, my dad's French. Since when? Since his birth. She can't. It's so funny. I mean, I kind of want to say it now because it's in the other like episode, so I feel like I'll have to say it in the other one, so I probably will say it again, but I just have to say, but the difference from him talking French in front of them and them reacting and him being like, yeah, and to Charlie finding out he speaks French was so funny, because of course, yeah, like Tao, he was like, yeah, my dad speaks French, and then them like, and my dad speaks French, like, and since his birth, like, he was just a bit like, okay. But then of course Charlie was like, you speak French fluently, clearly like getting a bit flustered, and he was just like, yeah, my dad, he was like, yeah, my dad, like, obviously thinking, shit, am I genuinely not told anyone this? But then he was like, you like it, and I was like, stop now, because of course then he was all over it. He was like, oh ho, and I was just like, the difference though, like, when it's his boyfriend that likes him speaking French, he likes it, he's like, oh ho, okay. I actually can't. It was everything. Oh yeah, I can't. But like, Charlie and Tara, they had a moment on the stairs where they were talking, and that was really cute, because yet again, that was like an underrated friendship where they like talk, because I feel like there's always a thing where they say like gays and lesbians don't get on, but like, please, they prove them wrong, don't they? Because like, they get on so well and they're so cute, but it's just like, I can't with the fact that they talk, but they're almost like telling each other that they're kind of jealous of each other's relationship, and I was just like, whoa, like, you don't think of it like that, but I liked it, because of course he was kind of jealous because her and Darcy are so open and they kiss and stuff and hold hands, and he's like, I want that. And then she's like, well, I'm kind of jealous of you two because you actually talk about feelings and stuff, because obviously Darcy still didn't want to talk about her feelings or anything. She didn't want to open up. She didn't want to, like, you know, discuss the, you know, or like whatever the word is about the fact that she told her I love you, things like that. So I liked their little conversation. It was so cute. And then, did I say it? Yeah, but she was like talking about something, and then they had a flashback of Tara and Darcy, and that was so cute. I want to do more, like, I want to see more of that, because obviously she was like doing some ballet or something, and I was like, oh, and then they like, she was like, I'm there for you even if you fall over and all that, and then they kissed, and I was like, whoa, like, that was really cute, and I liked it. Oh my god. And then they all came back with ice cream, and she was like, when she calls her Jonesy, whoa, that was hilarious. That's adorable, and it was also so cute. Like, it was also hilarious as well, because she was like, disaster, Jonesy. They only had whatever it was. They only had strawberry. I couldn't get them in chocolate chip. What a disaster! I hate that. Actually, oh, bloody hell! And then Charlie's eating disorder comes out again because he gets him an ice cream, and he's like, I'm alright, actually. I had breakfast, and he's like, you can't pull that on me now, babes, because I've been here the whole time, and I know you haven't had breakfast. So then he was like, I'm going to have it then. And then honestly though, that little bit, and then obviously Nick was just like, the fact they did it so much more in this season, because of course Nick had to then like realise, because he was just like, like you could tell in his face. But then he was eating it, and then it was adorable because he was getting on his nose, and he was like, "Oh shit, come here, ice cream," and it was just like, I was just like, oh. Like, it was just so wholesome, and it's just so cute and fuzzy. Like, it's almost making me want to watch it again after this, because I might even do it, because why wouldn't I? Because it's everything. I love it. Oh yes. So because obviously Tao and Elle go to the museum, they finally get to talk, and then so they come around and they're like, yeah, we don't need to, we don't need to be awkward, like, we'll be friends now, like, we're fine, like, we're good now. So then yeah, they were fine then, and they, like, we're friends again now. And I was like, okay, like, of course we are, because like, so what have I said? So then they were looking at art. Oh yeah, the improvisation. Haha, that was improvised. Where the bit where he was like, "Ugh," and scared her, and she was like, whoa. And that was improvised, and I was laughing so much at it because you could tell, and it was so fun. Oh god, yeah. And then Tao is adorable doing photography. Yes, when he was like taking those photos, and he was taking photos of her, she was like, what are you doing? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, stop that. Oh god, yeah, when Elle was watching him take that family's photo as well, that was so cute, because obviously we just discussed the fact that we're fine again and we're gonna be friends, and then she was like, oh shit, but I still like you, like, I still want to be with you, and it's just like, oh. Like, it's just like, the butterflies were back, and I was just like, stop. I couldn't cope with it. Oh, good grief. But the next one is just like, every time he's on the screen, I roll. Ugh, Ben. Yeah. Again, I'm like, I think though, it's when they all come back and then they're there, and she's like, let's go do this and let's go do this, and he's like, no, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you're honestly a look shit, like, you actually are. So then she was like, you're boring, and she was like, hi to Nick, because he was like, hi, and then I hate that, the fact that when Nick watches, he then pulled her closer and was like, she's mine, and she was just like, get off, and I was like, yeah, queen, do it, because he's such an idiot. I hate it. Oh yeah. And so then she hangs around with them, and I just put the iconic friend group, but yeah, she then goes up to them and she's like, he's been an idiot, so I'll hang with you, and they're like, absolutely, of course you can, and I was like, stop. Like, honestly, every single one of them is precious and adorable, and they're like, yeah, literally, why wouldn't we let you? So come on, let's go. Like, let's go and do whatever it was we were going to look at. And I was like, that's so cute. Like, we need that. Hold on. I've just put, what the fuck? Oh shit, yeah, the restaurant scene. Oh, good grief, yeah. Because Ben has to sit next to Charlie, doesn't he? And I was like, are you actually kidding me? I'm sure I've wrote that, didn't I roll, yeah. Because every time I was like, every time I was eye rolling, I was like, why? So yeah. Oh Jesus, yeah. And Tao eats a snail. That was so funny. Ew. Charlie doesn't eat. Yeah. I've just sort of done points like that, but yeah, Charlie gets his food and he's like, and I was just like, oh good god, I hate that. Yeah, so Ben obviously then speaks to Charlie. He's like, how have you been? And the minute he did, Nick instantly was like, it was just like, he sort of just moved, like, what? Almost like as if he was trying to, like, get up and be like, yeah. And I was just like, whoa, protective boyfriend mode, I like it, I do. And Charlie was just like, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. And then Imogen was like, oh my god, that scene was iconic. When Imogen's such a queen. She actually is. Like, that was so fun. But yeah, Imogen calls him out. An actual queen. Literally. It was so funny as well that they did it in the entire restaurant. I was like, oh shit. But also, yes, because I feel like everyone deserves to hear me say this to him because he's a dick. Yeah, it was funny. She's like, your energy's off. I'm breaking up with you. And I was like, yeah, girl, do. Because, like, why did you even date him in the first place? He's such an idiot. I want to know how you found him attractive. Because, like, he just isn't. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, this bit was like, okay. Because we actually had some character development from Harry. And I was like, okay. Like, he was annoying. He was. Because he still is. And I still kind of hate him. But he had some moments where he just wasn't as annoying. Like, you know, like, he kind of just wasn't there that often. Or he wasn't in their way all the time. Because he actually stepped up here, and he was like, you don't need to be a bitch about it. And he was like, whoa, because they were all like, shit, whoa, don't say that. And so then he was like, you don't need to call her a bitch. And I was a bit like, whoa, Harry, I mean, yes, but also like, steady on, because like, sticking up are you? You're kind of stepping up, being kind of nice. But I kind of see it because they're friends, you know, Harry and Imogen are friends, so I was a bit like, yeah. And he's like, don't say that. So like, and I was like, oh, all right. I kind of see you, to be honest. Oh yeah, so then he storms off and then she goes to the bathroom. So then they go see her. Nick and Charlie go and see if she's okay. And honestly, this entire moment I just couldn't cope with. I was like, wow, they're such dads. And I know it sounds weird to say, but like, it just gave me dad energy of them with their like daughter in the future, because like, that is what they would do, you know, like if they had a daughter in the future and something like that happened, they would instantly run to the rescue and make sure she's fine. And the way they were stood like next to each other and like being cute with her like as she was crying, honestly, and the hug as well. Can I have a hug? I was like, what do you even do? Why do you even ask for one? Like, you should have just hugged her, because then he did. And then obviously Charlie joined, and I was like, I want a Nick and Charlie hug. I really do, because I can imagine that they're everything, you know, because like I can imagine it. What have I said? Yeah, gave future dads energy. Stop, I'm crying. And then the hug, yeah, because I was literally writing these notes as I was watching it, so the way I would like scream things, I would then write it, and it was just like, but yes, honestly, I couldn't cope with that, like the way they were, and the way they were so consoling and cute and stuff. Although, what I will say is that obviously after it happened and Ben stormed off, there was a minute where, briefly, but you could see that Tara had like grabbed her hand from like across whoever was sat here, probably Darcy, and she sort of grabbed her hand like, it's okay kind of thing, and then obviously she left. But so I was like, they're all kind of there for her and all that, but no, it was like, oh god, yeah. So then they were back in the hotel and they'd obviously all got sort of ready to go to bed or something. They were just chilling in the room. But honestly, the way that Tao talks about Elle is beautiful, because, you know, like the fact that he admires her so much. But what have I wrote? Because I'm sure I wrote like, yeah, the way he sees her as a person and not as someone who's transitioned. So when you think about it, they were friends for the entire year. I mean, I never know how it actually happened, because obviously Elle became friends with Charlie and then Tao because of that, because they were friends. But I'm like, they must have knew Elle when she was like before she transitioned kind of thing. So it's one of them that I think is absolutely beautiful to see that their friendship was still blossom, like still they still accepted her when she transitioned, but then also I got feelings for you and I still don't care, you know, because of course I then knew you as a guy or like as a male, and I still don't feel strange about it, you know, that I then like you now. Like, she's amazing, but she's been through so much shit. She deserves the world. She's beautiful. She's amazing. And it's just like, it's so adorable, like the way he talks about her, because he just doesn't see her like that, you know. He just sees her as a person who he admires, but he also loves to pieces, and it's honestly precious. Because of course, like Nick's like because he loves them as a thing, and he also ships it because he wants them to be together. So he's just like, wow. Like the way he was listening to him say it, I was just like, yeah, me, so cute. Yeah, one of the last ones I just put, the hickey. Okay, so of course we knew this was coming if you read the book, and it was done so good, because obviously then Isaac and Tao left, and so then he comes back in the bedroom and it starts going, but I can't, because yeah, again, it was soft, like it wasn't like instantly like boom, like we're being like crazy like that. It was, yeah, I've put, they're honestly so soft with each other, yeah, because of course he was like, he cuddles him when he was stood up, because he comes over and he like, does he like touch his hair or something, and then he wraps his arm and cuddles him, and then woo, onto the bed we go, and then he like rolls him up in his duvet, and then now you have to sleep in my bed. And I was like, stop, like, wow. And then of course we chat a little bit, but then, because I feel like, yet again, he's trying to talk about, or like it starts where he tries to talk about that he's been a bit stressed and then he's not eating, you know, like, oh, you know, like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, whatever. And then next minute they're kissing and rolling around on top of each other. And one of the things that he said where he was like, you taste like toothpaste from when we first like kissed at your house, I was like, whoa. And he's like, well, I have just brushed my teeth. But I was just like, stop, because that's cute that he like likes that, you know. He was like, he like clicked, like, you know, linked to memory when he like, when that happened, because that was like one of the moments, like, is that the moment we officially got together? Because then that sort of confirmed it, doesn't it? But that was like a detail. And then yeah, I hate them. Yes, because they're so cute. Charlie and then his reaction to the hickey, yeah, but obviously doing it as well was like, wow, because he like was like it was just because he was like, what are you doing? Because you're like, is that okay? Like the consent that they have with each other, and I'm like, stop. Honestly, I can't. Like, they are perfect, but they have moments. Like, they're not perfect, but they are perfect, and I just love it. Like, the way they can talk to each other is true, because like that's what Darcy was saying. But yeah, then it's like the next day, and it's the morning, and Charlie's brushing his teeth, just like, and then he's like, hold on. His reaction. Honestly, it was so funny. It really was, because then he was like, oh shit, and it ended. Or was it, oh fuck? I think it was. He was like, oh fuck, and then shit ended. And I was like, I actually can't. So yeah, that was, because then it ends like that, and I was like, whoa. But of course, next episode, so I was like, but I mean, yeah, that was another thing we knew about that happening, because of course everyone was like, oh my god, like, we're gonna get the hickey, and it happened. They did it, because like, what else do they call it? Because I'm sure that she like do a thing where she was like, what do we call it? Because I'm sure they may have said like love bites, but I feel like that's not a thing anymore, is it? So they've said hickey, and I'm just like, stop. Yeah, it was so funny. I'm so glad. I'm just so glad that they, honestly, I feel like there's nothing that they didn't do from the book. Like, honestly, I feel like they do everything in the book and more, and it kills me. And I'm like, whoa, like, help. Woo! Okay, so it is already 2 hours long, and I have only talked about the first 4 episodes, so I need to stop. I need to have a drink. I need to have a rest, because my throat is gonna go. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm going to do the other 4 episodes another time, just because I just need to, because there's no way. There's just no way I can do it. So yes, I really hope that you enjoyed this so far. But yes, let me know what you think. Obviously, I will hopefully not take too long to get the second part, because a part of me is like, oh, because otherwise I'm not going to do it. But I'm going to try. And at least this part will be out, so we'll already have this to have, and then you can let me know what you think. But yes, I have all the notes ready to go. So I'll try and get on with that when I can, and I'll have a part 2 very soon. So yes, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye bye.